Yeah. All right. All right. Just a little bit this way on you. All right. I think we're ready to rock and roll. All right, excuse me. We gotta get some of these main points out of the way. Once we get some of the main points out of the way, we can start doing the overall picture. There's a little less than halfway. So this ends about right here. It's probably something like that. Trying to figure out which line I made here exactly. I think this line goes right here underneath. And this roof line actually goes right here. So there's a gap from here to here. Dump it in like this. And there's a crosshatch from there to over here. Generally speaking, at the bottom of that, we have two lines. We have this guy and that guy. Yep. This line and that line. Those lines run right into each other. This guy comes out like so. There. That's likely pretty close. We're gonna go with that. In the sake that if we were to take it, this is our vanishing point and put a point right here, which is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get that bottom little sidewalk. Awesome. That looks great. Right around here, you got like the little uptick of the sidewalk. Dude. Yep. Cool. Right in the middle of this one, about. Yay big. This little guy. Yeah, how right that is. And that will end right after that first line. Right here. Something like that. And other vanishing point off of this guy. And then there. Give it a bit. Ip. What you got going on up here, my friend? I think you got a little confused there. That's okay. I think it was harmful. I think those are just continuations of that line. I don't know how that was. Yeah, not. And that feels about right for where that should be. Okay. I'm looking at one kind of low right there. One bit higher right there. So, elevation moves the mind. Yeah, my friend, there's your steeple. Very cool, very cool. Now, that being said, that window, if we drew a line down, it's just a little bit off of this guy right here. So the edge of that window should be right here. Going up like so. And then there's a little ledge. And it's about right there. A little further. And it ends somewhere like right here. Like that. Okay, Hey, what's up? Like how the reference has a vanishing point that's off the image to the left. Like at the Simog. Ironically, yeah, no, the vanishing points are gone, but I have it. It's here. You can't see it, but it exists. I guess I could move the camera real quick. Hollywood trickery. It's there. It's not like I'm just magically able to guess. Yeah, I mean technically, yeah, the vanishing point, same thing. It's over there. It's on the paper, but it's just barely there. Yeah, I've been actually kind of excited to look for this one. Yeah, honestly, I tell people sometimes, I'm like, I charge people for the sheet. I mean, it's like a $5 sheet like this. Probably $4 or $5 for these. Maybe a little less than that. Maybe by the time I buy a whole stack, they're probably about $3. But like when I say I charge people for a sheet, like it's not. It's so that I can do stuff like this and not have to worry about it. It's nice. So let's see. We got two little things that pop up off this guy that are right about here. And then I might actually get my phone out, because I think I have the OG pictures that I took on here. Somewhere, hold on. Yeah, there. Yeah, so I got the actual pictures that I took here, and I can zoom in really detailed on these guys. I don't know, you guys can see that, but can get a better zoom at what I'm looking at if I'm not sure. So this window here, yeah, there we go. So it curves up a little bit, like right here, it's rounded, and same on this side. However, see right at the end of the curve, it pops out and it starts this cool little arc. To mark another line out here. So one for the bottom of said arch and one for the top. Might have to move this line just a little bit here. Yeah, looks better, actually. Actually. So how are you today, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Jumped right into conversation, didn't even say hi. I'm bad about that sometimes. This actually goes a little bit farther than right here. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I thought it said Lenovo voltage. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't want that right now. Later. Getting by. Nothing good, but nothing bad either. No news is good news, I like to say. No news is good news. Sometimes. Sometimes no news is bad news for the Ravens. There's some little guy right there. So I can zoom in a little bit, see what I'm doing here. Go. And then right at the top of that guy, there's a little blind thing, I would say. Here. Probably right here. It just goes upwards with some vents. Cool. And there looks to be, I don't know what's up there. It just kind of gets dark. So we're going to do that in ours too. We do need to make a divide right here that is oddly a little further over. It's actually more like right here. We'll take it down to this roof. Yeah, I kind of nailed that. Because that's where the roof would end up. I think that looks pretty good. Nice. Very good. Alright, so let's try use this thing here to try and base where the windows line is. So on this. And if we're looking at this down, that's the right side of the window. If we go over just a little bit, right about here is where the bottom of the windowsill is. So we'll use that as our measurement tool, and we'll make a nice little shoop across here. Now for the top window, how are we gonna measure that guy? Well, we have a top bar to go from. It's just a little bit below that, so let's just get the top bar over there. What looks about right, probably right there. And our windows all fit between there and there. Somewhere. Very good, very nice. Oh, also, there should be a very dark shadow in here. It looks like that. As such, cool. And of course, there's a split in this window about right here. Feeling pretty good about the accuracy so far. I've gotten pretty good at my system, though, I won't lie. And how I go about this whole process. I like when people say, I like your style, and I laugh to myself, and I'm saying my technique is working. I also like to think of that SpongeBob scene when they're trying to teach injured old Squidward how to jellyfish. Technique! You know? I'm a millennial, so I think other people's SpongeBob memories are a little different than mine. Alright, what should we were working on the windows, that's right. Just trying to decide how I want to measure how these are on here. I mean, I could literally measure them to the inch. Let's do it, fuck it. Oh, 11/16, or 5 11/16 over is where that one's gonna be. 5. That's where the first, right about there. Quick maths. Let's make a line right there. That'll be our first window. We're gonna kind of guess, because we can, about the second part. We have 4 windows. Let's see here. So this one actually looks like it ends pretty close to the line here. It also starts one. Probably right here. Boom. So generally speaking, that's one. And of course, the inside line on these is going to be different. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should build that second bar in. That's probably roughly that, right? And then on the bottom, there is a rim, but it's not as big on the bottom. See how that looks as a window. There. A little bit of a gap between here and there. All the alerts are working again. By the way, they should be. At least I hope. I think I got them working. Just a little bit after this window. It's going to be the left side of this guy. Which that's a little too wide, actually. Let's go for that. Let's go for this right here. And that would leave us one about right here. Here. How are we feeling about that? I think that one's gonna go over to the left a little bit. Move it like here. About there. That's roughly about it. And again, if that were the case, yeah, our top bar is going to be here, here, here. I do feel like this one's too far in. Maybe that should be it. Yeah, I think that'll have to work. I'm gonna take that top bar up just a little to like here. We'll strengthen the bars on these here. These are going to have a light bar on the left side. That's harsh. The right side is going to have a lot more shadow. The bottom side is going to have a lot more shadow. So for all of these, There'll be a dark spot right here. Boop, 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 boop. Something's off with one of those windows, and I can't exactly tell what. I think it's this one right here. Gotta redraw these. Don't judge me. I think this should be more like right here. And that is similarly, this one should kind of line up with this guy. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow. Inside, just a little bit. And then it makes it seem like the space between the windows should be a little bit wider than the windows, which makes me think that I got this wrong. I'm thinking right here. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna move this guy. Take him closer down this way. Let's try that. See how that does. And these main features are really important to try and get right the first time, so I'm gonna fuck around with them later. Space between them should be wide. So yeah, this is gotta be smaller. Just that for a moment. Still smaller yet, if that's right. Let's go for about right. Okay, I don't hate that. This should be in a little further though, I think. And I think this right one should be out a little bit farther overall. The actual board should be sticking out. This guy should be out a little further. Okay, that looks pretty good. That feels more right to me. Yeah, no, I can live with that. Okay, cool. So we have a line in the center, obviously, for our windowsills. We're gonna put it about right there. One above it to cap them off. One above it to cap. We working in 3D, baby. Okay, so the inside, all of these, gonna have line number 1. Use the phone for this. We can get some detailed vision here. All right. Tops of the windowsills. Right there. First bar is about right there. It's beautiful. Second bar about the same size. And then a third bar halfway up for this window. Nice. Sorry about my Facebook messages, guys. I didn't even know I had Facebook open on here. Fixed. And however, we're gonna check those to make sure they're not important. It's a buddy of mine. They are important, but I'll get back to them. Only because I'm live. I don't know how well you guys can see that as a window, but the details are looking sharp. You know? Sharp, 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 sharp. Looking good. All right, so again, under the windowsill, we're gonna have a nice little ledge here. Okay, let's see other side darkness we were talking about. On the other side, we're going to have one little board that ends about right here. Yep, and outside of that, a little bit of darkness. And this guy will go up into this. Beautiful. Man, I'm pretty good at this. Not gonna lie, I'm getting pretty good at this. Making pretty good progress, I feel like, too. And again, we'll move over a window. One little bar for dark. One bar for light, sorry. Boom. Bar for dark. Boom. Boom. That dark should travel through. Oop, not there, sorry, too far. Oh, I did screw something up here. Okay, yeah, there should be a dark bar. It's not a hard fix, though. That's... just gonna make that dark bar. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. This guy has a clever little air conditioner. Comes right up to here. Crosses out the dark spot right here. So like this. It's pretty small. Comes with the light right there. Bada bing, bada boom. Other vanishing point over here. The details are important, you know what I'm saying, dog? These all look a lot cleaner when I hit them with a pen too, so. Draw the other side of that in. Cool. Alright, now same thing. We got our window white, which goes up into the middle. Actually, it kind of goes darkly up in the middle. Another dark little line here. And it goes up. And then because this guy's got a window, it also has an extra bar right here. Again, attention to detail, very important. Cool. Goes down, comes back. Alright, so that looks like an air conditioner, I think. These are all gesture. I don't need to worry about this so much, just so that I know to do it later. That's good. You can't really see it in that picture, but there's actually like this really broken, there's a broken piece in the window. And in this window only, there is like something you can see. like the other ones are all blurred out. You can actually see the drapery in this one, so we're gonna add that. This guy was super generous, and like when I was like pricing it out, I don't want to say I priced it high, but like I knew that if I wanted to do this, I wanted to do it well, so I priced it higher than normal. That guy was like adamant about wanting it, so I was like, you know what? I guess we're doing this. So taking this piece pretty seriously in terms of detail and result. Oh, I'm jumping ahead. I need to get this in here. So we got yeah, I'm always pretty flattered when people reach out, like, out of their way to tell me that, like, they really appreciate my work. It always means a lot. Oh, no way. You can barely tell. There's, like, there's little bits in here, and the one from that one is actually missing. So like right here, like there's a top line, and the bottom circular part is missing. That's pretty neat, actually. Alright, and this one we're going to be doing a bit of guesswork, but it does look like the drapery is available and seeable. So and we're just going to be doing a very similar, there's our main bar, the dark bar inside of that. Underneath dark bar, we have, underneath that space, we have dark bar here. I can get away with freehanding this pretty well, that part at least. Oh, hey, man. Okay, well, I hope I like how they are, because that's where they're staying. We're gonna leave them there. Underneath the windows, it's not exactly center. It's a little off center, probably like right here. That bit goes up like this. And probably to about right here. Take this, move it this way to there. We should have a little sign. Let me zoom to my picture here. Looks like this bit goes back into this. And then very similarly, that line is just going to continue to travel down off of that corner. And it ends right on the edge of the building with the other one. We're going to make sure that line feels separate. Very good, very nice, awesome. Cool. And then this sign is clearly divided into 5 boards. This sign is going to be tough, honestly. Out of all the things I looked at when I was looking this over, the sign is going to be the hardest fucking part of this. Because the sign, I don't know how well you guys can see it from the video clip, but it's split into 5 sections. And then the word Clatter is written across those 5 sections. And it's hard to explain it really simply, but basically, like, the Clatter part has to stay white, but the background has to stay pretty dark. And I have to be able to do this all in a pretty refined space. So, very much going to be a challenge. One that I'm looking forward to, though. Maybe just a little bit off. Nah, we'll take that. We'll take that. Just make the bottom one here. Doesn't seem off. That, yeah. That should look like our little wood bar signs. Cool, very cool, very cool. And then just by math here, we have, let me count the shingles on the side here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then a half one. The half one's gonna come to about right, a little lower than one of those boards. 7, 8, yeah, so it's 10. So if we cut this to this right here in half, also we should cover up that there is this guy here on the side, for probably about yay wide. And the Clatter side, I'm just now realizing, does not go all the way down to that pillar. It actually comes in just a little bit to the right here. That big on thoughts. Like brain thought, not that kind. You guys have dirty minds. Alright, cool. Cool. We're making progress here. Where was I? What was I working on? I was counting these. So, right about here is our first line. We're doing this guy to this guy. Let's just use actual math. Math, you know, is our friend, I think. Oh, you know what? Fuck our metric, or fuck our system. Let's use the metric system. It's easier. Alright, so we got about 60, so that would be 3 would be halfway. We're doing 0.6, so we got 1 here, 1 here, 1 about here, 1 about here. I'm gonna do it again. 1 here, Very cool. Very cool. We're making progress. I think we'll just take this one a little lower. Sake of it being right. And then very carefully we will draw in these. And these are gonna end at this line right here. Does the first one run in right there? Oh, okay. No, it does. Just a little more. We're getting down over here today. Getting bonky. Bonky. Making good progress here. Sorry, my head's probably right in the way, I'm just realizing. I think that one needed to be a little bit lower. Yeah, that wasn't right. Oops. I'll look right here. And that's why we work in pencil first, ladies and gentlemen. Very hard to go back and fix things like this once they're wrong if you're already into the pen. However, I do believe that looks pretty good. Pretty good. I'm sorry, that's not correct. There is a thing that comes back about right here behind this. And then goes down behind this guy. Yep. Yep. And then this actually, be open and should have a downspout here like so. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Hope you guys can see all that okay. I'm always worried because I can't see it well from my preview screen, but it looks like it's pretty okay. I watched one back the other day while I was doing anything work, and it looked alright. It looked alright. This guy up here. All right, so back to the clatter sign. It's kind of off-centered a little bit, so the C ends up being like right here. In a sense, it's kind of nice that I have these 5 bars because they really help me keep in check when like the letters are gonna look. think that bottom board is longer. I'm just realizing. It is. It's longer. Or thicker, I should say. More in the width department. I know it seems crazy to put the T in over here first, but it's so I know I'm going the right direction with everything. Still high, I think. Lower the T just a little bit. That's it. Let's go ahead and build a top and bottom line for our type there. That's holy shit, it's been an hour already? That's crazy. To be fair, I'm like not unhappy with my progress, I'm just surprised with an hour. Does not feel like it's been that long. Yeah, my math is off here. Something's off. The L ends up right here. I think that T ends up farther over both of the T's. The A felt right though. Maybe that should be for the first one, and I should forget about the second one. I still feel like something's not right, like that L's wide or something. Is my C too wide? Now the C ends right about there. Cut off the L a little bit, move the A in. So the second T ends underneath the window. Doing that, let's put that there. the R ends about right here. And bottom of the R. Let's zoom in on this. Middle bar right here, and it comes pretty much all the way. This part is being pretty tough, I won't lie. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Having trouble getting these letters exactly where I want them. We'll get there. I'm just struggling in the current moment. I think most of it, excuse that loud noise, is that this T in my image there that I'm looking at is not on the image, if that phrasing makes any sense. So I'm like trying to guess what it's supposed to be like. I didn't mention it. We're removing that pole that's there. Like entirely. We're just gonna remove it. So if you're wondering why I'm so worried about this, it's because it matters per the client's request. Wasn't a better picture or angle that I thought I could get than this one, and that was both of our concerns, that, you know, that pole line cook mocking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the pole, and I'm going to guesswork everything around it. And then once I figure out the antennas and stuff that are there, I'm going to basically connect those to the pole that's going to be back behind it, like way back in here, and pretend like it doesn't matter. And then it's not there. Artist magic. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the C and the L in just ever so slightly and make them tighter. Also, I'm going to makeshift myself a sharp eraser here so we can clean this up. Yeah, because in my mind, the C has more space going over to the right. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Take this. This guy. Take your line and make it up just a little bit closer. Just the hair. Alright, I like that more than I thought I might after I got it cleaned up a little bit. But I do think we're going to have to do a little bit of this. Yeah, that'll we're going to have to reinforce these lines. Feels like the music that would play on like channel like 7 that would tell you like all your logo stuff in the morning. Is that channel still a thing? I'm sure it is somewhere. This is your local broadcasting for Allegheny County. (1-800 Bob Ross). No, it's not a music channel. It's just like the channel that they play like all the local ads and stuff on. It's like very generic looking. Some guy probably runs it like in like some public studio at the college local to you. And it just runs like local ads and stuff. Alright, that's in there, I think. Smooth Beats 95 FM, where we play nothing but the smoothest smooth beats for your smooth listening. Stay smooth like a baby's butt. But don't tell P. Diddy. Oh man, my viewership went down. I said P. Diddy and everybody left. I probably got banned. Thou has no maidens. Yeah, but the AI would pick me up. They just know. I said it. They just know. It was a joke. I don't really care. Even if they ban me, I'm just going to keep painting anyway. All right, that's looking pretty solid. It's been a little over an hour and time is flying. I'm gonna take a quick smoke break, but I'm not gonna go very far. I'm gonna see if I can move Mr. Sleepy Mischief up in the window so you guys can. You know what? He's comfy. I'm just gonna move the camera so you guys see him. He's sleeping over on the couch. He's just the eepy little guy. You're the eepy little guy. Oh my gosh. You're so sweet. All right, I'm back. Trash here. I've returned. It's starting to look like the picture a little bit. All right, so let's see here. Somewhere around right here. Gotta add this guy. But then it stops and it cuts kinda. It's weird. So it cuts up, but it also cuts back like that a little bit. Not even that dramatic, not like that. Yeah, way less. Way less. You're doing too much, bro. Doing too much. Something like that, yeah. That looks about right. Comes almost to the edge. Right here. Generally speaking, looking at a little straight face that comes down about right like this. And eventually, coming down through the sky, kind of at an angle. Ledge like so. See, like that. And then obviously that has to follow some perspective. See, that's about right. Okay. Hey, Mischief. Mischief. You having a good nap, dude? He's having the best nap. He ain't getting up for shit. Clearly. So if we match that from the side of the building right here, same angle, about the same place, we're looking at something about like this guy-ish. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Making pretty good progress here. It's a little under halfway through this radius. Okay. So I would say we got their line right here. This goes like so. And somewhere along the lines of right here shoots up. It's probably about right here. And then obviously we'll cut into about right here. Beautiful. Sorry, that drum line was really hitting. All right. A little bit down on this one. Oh, and then that cuts back into that. So yeah, that is exactly where that goes, right there. Good eye. Nice. And that is where this window basically ends, is right here in this corner. Alright, let's zoom in on that there window. See what it looks like. Not that that's the most important window, but let's do our best to get it. Alright. So we got a pretty standard full border on this puppy. Just like so. Alright. Man, this part's gonna be fucking tough. Okay, cool. Cool, okay. Uh-huh, yep. Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah. that's not that high, my friend. Where is it? Or is it? Oh, it is. Okay. Cool. So it is. Nice. Okay, we're making progress. That's the front of that little place. It's got a little thing up above here, a little vent. It also has, so that goes down and across and does its own thing, but underneath that, so like that line continues just barely off of that. Like so. And then it'll go right into the tree. Beautiful. Right below that thing. Right here. Is a bench. Beautiful. Excellent. All right. Alright, so down underneath this guy, what do we need to figure out? Let's see, so let's work off this. I'm pretty sure I measured this. It looks about right to where this first stone's. Let me zoom in on it. So the last second here, this little guy comes kicking side. Goes into a little tube. Alright, so at the same point, there's a ledge. Takes off this way. Generally speaking, that ledge is gonna keep going, it looks like. Get the big one. It's fucked up. Probably an important one. What's up, Moons? How you been doing, man? I haven't done a kickflip in a long time, but I have been considering getting a skateboard as of recently. How's life been treating you, man? How has life been treating you? It's been a crazy ride, but I'm hanging on, dude. I'm hanging on. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. It's come a long way. Been honing and refining the skills for quite some time. Everything else I've finished pretty close by. Nope, I can show you some stuff I've finished. I haven't talked to you for a while. I don't know what we're gonna find here, so be weary. This is just like my daily, what I call the daily carry. Yeah, I don't have it. It's at the coffee shop. I took it over. Girls I work with wanted to see it, so I took it over and I left it there. Oh, this is cool. Hold on. So I can make it work. You can just barely see it if I do it just right. The project I've yet to finish. Hand animated. I'll finish that shit one day. This guy's pretty cool. My noble frog man. There's some unfinished stuff in here. Just like pencil in there, some pencil in there when I didn't finish. And then it's probably my favorite thing in here in the whole fucking notebook. I think that's all that's in here right now. There's a raccoon I need to finish. Watercolor. Just never finished him. Oh yeah, this guy's in here. Another frog. Got a big frog thing lately. I think that's it. Yeah, that appears to be all. But this is a commission for a guy. It's a local coffee shop about 20 minutes from me. And the guy has some fond memories I'm gathering, so I'm gonna try and preserve them if we can. Yeah, people tell me all the time, like, why don't you get into being a tattoo artist? And I always say, I'm like, I just don't want to tattoo on people. It's gross. No, I love tattoos. I have zero interest in being the guy to do the tattooing. I've done a few on me. I know what it takes and all, but yeah, just not for me, man. Just not for me. So it looks like our sidewalk goes kind of downhill here. So while we have like a general line to follow, it's gonna kind of do one of these where it goes like this. I think that looks about right to our picture. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Yeah, the guy that commissioned this was pretty enthusiastic about my work. I work at a coffee shop, and my stuff's posted, so it's like ironic if somebody would be like, wow, that guy like really knows his stuff, or like, oh, like I really like this artwork, and I laugh and I'm like, that's cool, and I was like, that's mine. And people are always like, what? Like, that's yours? And I'm like, yeah, that's mine. And so it's gotten me into like a lot of interesting situations and opportunities, because you're like, somebody to be impressed. It like I joke all the time, like I can't sell artwork on a wall that I'm not there at, but I can always seem to sell something to someone when I'm talking to them, kind of thing. But you know, this is not exactly how this actually looks, but we're gonna do our own thing here. It's definitely coming along. Am I zoomed in? No, I'm zoomed in, right? I was gonna say I might be zoomed in too far. Yeah, no, the old art degree's starting to do something. Taking a while. The art scene where I'm at too is really popping off, and so I've been like, I don't want to say collaborating necessarily. I don't know if that's quite the word, but like communicating and like talking to a lot of artists. There has been some collaboration, and I won't say that there won't be that, but more so I'm just learning and taking pages out of other people's books and figuring out what the rest of the world is doing. And like I said, it's coming along. I'm learning stuff. Every single day I feel like I'm learning something new. The world is your oyster kind of deal, man. Yeah, no, it's been really eye-opening. There's a rug shop down the street from my house, and I had just left a really shitty job that was treating me like garbage, and I was just downtown, like right by my house, checking stuff out, and they've just like redone everything. And like I said, they were having more of like a reopening celebration for the whole area, and I got pulled into a shop by like an old high school friend of mine. She's like, "You just got to come in and meet these people." She's like, "They're just like." You just got to meet these people. And I walked in and I met this guy, Dave, who runs the rug shop. And it's like, it's a rug shop, but it's not a rug shop. Like, they have artist hostings and like all this music and live shit, and like nothing in there costs anything. I mean, obviously, if you buy a rug, you know. But the place is crazy. But I just started, like, the moment I walked in, dude, I was like walking around looking at art that people had hung, and like all this crazy stuff was there. And I'm standing there staring at this piece. And this guy walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, man." He's like super friendly. He's like, "I saw you were like walking around checking stuff out." He's like, "My name's Logan." And blah, blah, blah. He starts talking. And, you know, I was like staring at this piece of art. So he caught me off guard. And I was like, "Sorry, man." I was like, "I'm distracted." I was just like, was really captured by this piece of art. And he's like, "Oh, this one right here." And I pointed to it. He goes, "This one's mine." And so ironic in the same sense of what I was talking about, man. Like, you meet people in the weirdest ways, but like I am now really good friends with that dude. We have a similar art style, and he approaches things in like a very similar fashion to what I do. Although like his background, like he's got a degree, but it's not in art. He's like a conservationalist, and like you like spent a lot of time out west, and like has seen like a lot of real animals and does things by the book. Whereas I just paint to paint. So it's cool to meet different people and see like what inspired them, because it really is. It's different for everybody, man. It's different for everybody. That feels pretty good for the first door there, which is gonna give us a gauging line for. We're gonna put our other lines. Bum, bum, this will be just ink. But I mean, like, I have paintings and stuff that I've done close by. Here, I'll grab one. Right, get this on camera. Not causing a ruckus. Yeah, get on there. So that's all acrylic. But I don't know. I don't love to paint in acrylic, man. It's not that I like hate it or that it's like something that I don't like to do, but I definitely prefer to paint in watercolor or ink. I could pull other stuff down, but a lot of the other stuff is double-sided tape, so I'd have to like rip them down and put it back up. But there's other stuff around. But watercolor is definitely where in ink, just because, dude, like, okay, for example, I can fit basically everything I need to do watercolor in this little pack right here, outside of like water and paper towels, which I can fit in the sling that it goes in. And I can't do that with acrylic, dude. You just can't. There's no way to keep all that stuff on you. You can have what do they call those? French easels? I think it's called a French easel. what Frenchies was like for people who do plein air, and it's literally like a box that has all your shit. And I would love to have one, and I think if I did have one, I would do more plein air. But it's still the fact of like, you know, you'd have to convince me to throw that shit in my backpack and like huck it down the road. My watercolor stuff, I don't. It's not a question. It's in my bag all the time, like right next to my laptop, my other shit. So if I'm on the side of a mountain in the middle of a hike and I'm like, man, that'd be cool to have a painting of, and I don't got nowhere to be, well, I'm painting it, dude. And ain't nobody gonna stop me. And I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, it's like people are always telling me, they're like, man, how do you do watercolor? It's so intimidating. And I'm like, how do you like do plein air and like not get irritated by the fact that you have to carry all that stuff with you? I like an oil paint takes too long. Well, I can do it. I can do it, but I just don't. I don't enjoy it. There's also there's like kind of a life lesson in watercolor where like, I don't know, like with acrylic, you can repaint stuff 150 times. You can do this, you can do that, you can change it, you can X, Y, Z, blah, 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 and you can go on and on and on with things you want to do. And, you know, like, again, if you paint something one layer and it doesn't look good, you can go back over it. Well, oil's the same thing. You can leave it wet for weeks and literally just, like, keep blending stuff. Like, it's crazy. But watercolor is, like, once it touches the paper, dude, like, that's it. I hope you like it, because that's what you're getting. And like I said, it does make for mistakes, but like you can't get better at anything if you're not going to make mistakes. And I think the hard mistakes that you learn in watercolor are similar to the hard mistakes that you learn in life. They resonate more with me and make me a stronger and better artist. Similar to those life lessons make you a stronger and better person, I think. I'm not a philosopher of sorts, but I do like to dabble. Alright, so if we're gonna match energies here, doorknob should be about right there, lock about right there, and this guy should be right in the middle of this line. Yeah, I don't know, art, philosophy, music, creativity, I think those are all very hand-in-hand subjects, if I'm being real with you, though. Hand-in-hand subjects. Pop that in for a sec. And like that. Back up like that. Beautiful. We got our two doors in there. I don't know how well you guys can see them. I need to zoom back in. Sorry. Forgot you guys are watching. Just kidding. I know you guys are here. Just forgot to adjust the camera. Oh, man. All right. What am I looking at here? Hold on. Oh, it's an ashtray. Okay, cool. There's a little ashtray right here on the side of the door. I just couldn't tell what I was looking at. Outside of this door, there is a lip that goes up to these things like so. It comes back down. It's real thin. Like that. A little thicker than that, maybe. And one of my favorite thing I hear a lot lately, that like I bring it up all the time, and people probably think I'm a broken record for it, but like all the time I'll hear the same phrase of like, oh wow, I could never do that. And I laugh because there were times in my life when I could not do this, and I just wanted it real bad, and so I kept doing it and I remember just like, I remember actually kind of vividly, I remember the day that like I started getting enough recognition that I was like, clearly you know what the fuck you're doing. And I'm not saying I you know, in any kind of a cocky sense that I know everything, but like, definitely learned a lot and know a lot about the whole art scene. But what my point was is that people will be like, "Oh, I can never do that." I'm like, that's just not true. You can tell yourself that if you want, but it's just not true. If you want to do it, you can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of this is just math when it comes down to it. So like this part right here, this is 5 glass sections in here. We're gonna take these like so, and generally add a double bar across this area. Does it go all the way? Yeah, it goes all the way down to right underneath there. See it right to there. These are gonna be for our little glass things. I went too far along, but that's okay. You still been streaming much, Moons? I haven't been on Twitch much at all. Been pretty active in my local scene, so I occasionally popped on. I feel like I saw your name not too long ago when I looked, but I haven't been like a lot of times. Dude, I'll pop it on and like pick something to watch, and I just like lay some background noise down and go to sleep. So I don't talk like I used to, at least not in Twitch chat and such. I'll have to come check it out. Still playing Rust? That's cool, man. I appreciate you stopping by. I'll pop in. I love-hate with Rust, man. I love that game to death, but I just don't have the time or the patience. Mostly the patience. Like, I can play it, but dude, like, I don't have a crew anymore. And you know how it is, dude, trying to play that game solo. Like, if you're doing it all the time, one thing, you know, you can keep up with, like, the new... But, like, when you haven't hopped on in a while and you pop on, like, the jungle, and I'm like, dude, I'm overwhelmed. Super overwhelmed. Like, I don't even know where to begin with all that. I'm unk status, as they say. But I feel like one day I'll have a revival when my life gets a little more financially friendly. But the economy is gonna have to straighten out for probably everybody before that happens for me. The world's a crazy place right now. Alright, how many sections do we got over here? 1, 2, 3. Is it 5 again? No, that can't be 5. It is 5 again. No shit. We're doing the same thing over here. Does it go above that door? Might take a little closer. No, it doesn't. Okay, so this cuts off. So, I just wasn't paying attention. Talking, that's what it was. Talking, not paying attention. Appreciate it. You too, man. Next time I'm up at night, I'll stop by. Oh, no, the Art of Rust community is always doing something fun. I always pop in and see, is it Monstera? Is that her name? It's a couple. I think Monstera is one of them. Both of them, they're extremely talented, though. Extremely. But they're always... Dude, some of the events they host, I see. I'm like, dude, how... Like, I don't understand how that's what they do on... Like, not that it, to take away from it, but I'm like, if you're that good at art, like... You need to be painting some really wild stuff in real life. But, you know, I guess some people do enjoy the freedom of digital. Control Z is beautiful. actually just got some new buttons in the mail for my keyboard, and they're like old school SNES buttons. Not, it's hard. They're buttons for the keyboard, but they attach to like a retro keyboard that I have. But you can program them. But I actually have Control C and Control V on the ones right now. And that and my screen controls. So if I hit B right back, it's one of those buttons. But they're pretty neat. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty neat. Appreciate that very much, man. Trying to keep the art flowing. Got a very encouraging message. Not that it's like the only one or anything, but just since we're on the subject, I got one this morning for like a friend that I haven't talked to since literally middle school. It was like, man, I saw one of your drawings yesterday, and like, so cool, keep it up, dude. And honestly, that's why I always tell people when I see them, like, if they're doing something cool, to keep it up, like, no matter what it is, because like that small encouragement is huge for a lot of people, me included. Hold on one sec. Good call out. These batteries do not last forever, unfortunately. They do last a good while, but not forever. And we're back. That easy. Cool. Thanks for the call out. Yeah, I don't actually know if Monstera does any of that, but she should have some art in the game, because they're involved not only just with the community, but like incredibly talented. Like, if somebody should be doing it, it should be them. I'm not taking away from anybody's doing it, but I feel like some people find like easy shortcuts or ways to like generate stuff pretty cheap, and they get most of the money, and that's just the way it goes, more or less. No disrespect, you know. That's kind of we've been talking about that with like the grants process in my local area, and I'm trying to like get involved with it a little bit. But like the bottom line and like the main reason why a lot of things fall off is like artists apply for a grant, and like nobody ever first off calls them after they fail and like give like a bad submission and says like, hey, you know, so like we read your thing and this is what we were thinking and here's why. None of that ever happens. And like there's a big fall off because like creatives are for the most part like just scientifically left brain, and you know, I'm sorry, right brain left. That's cool. I have to check that out, the bear skin. But yeah, like left brain, right brain is like the big disconnect. I'm forgetting which one's which right now, forgive me. But the point I'm making is that like as an artist, you want to be an artist. You don't want to fucking fill out forms and write paragraphs about like prompts and use proper wording. You know what I mean? You want to be creative and create. And I think a lot of the fucking fall off in the world is that like artists can't sell themselves properly because they're trying to create. Music world especially, like they get taken advantage of in a lot of these situations, and that's why like it's like a bad taste with like money in the art world in general, because people get taken advantage of. Personally, I think like that's most of the bad taste in most people's mouths with the art world, is that people are just like selling their souls out to try and get paid. And like, I don't know, I've never been about that. I joke like a lot of my stuff in the past few years, like I've literally handed people stuff that I've like done like right out of the notebook, no frame, like whatever. I'm like, here, you look like you would appreciate that. And I just like walk away, like, and people are like, does that matter to you? Like, you didn't get, I'm like, you know, don't get me wrong, I put time and effort into that. I'm like, but I'm gonna roll it up into a notebook and forget about it. Like, it was practice to me in a way. So if somebody can hang it up somewhere, like even if it's in a small corner of their house or get some enjoyment out of it, like have at her. I did a little drawing at Delfest when I was there on like, where are they? These little guys. I don't have the one I did obviously because I gave it, but they're tiny little watercolors, and I did like a scene of like the crowd, and it was the my brain's fleeting me right now. Either way, whoever I was watching, I was like half zoned out, and I painted this little picture and I threw it in my bag. And like a week later, I was at like a grill downtown. I was talking about it, and the girl was like, "Wow, this is really cool." And you could see she was super captured by the moment. She was like around that area and could like recognize where I was sitting. And I finally was just like, "Here, take it," and sent it with her. Cause it's like, I had no intention of framing that. Like I really enjoyed the painting when I did it. It was the whole point was to do it while I was sitting there and capture the moment. But it was never going to get hung up, so I'm happy for that person to have it. Alright, so this line is about right, but I think it needs to be a little thicker right here, so... that. How does that look? That feels more right. Alright, and the sidewalk itself, we have just about right. That's probably right. It's a really thin sidewalk. Right down before the end of our painting, it goes up and flattens to that. Very cool, very cool. Two hours. That has not felt like 2 hours. I'm gonna try and get a really, really good foundation to where, like, when I sit back down, like, I can see it. And probably the next stream will work out, like, some minor kinks of the pencil and make sure everything's good. And then once I'm happy with that, I will probably start putting some pen and ink down on this. I have high hopes for this one turning out pretty good at the end of it. As I should, I think. As I should. A little sign right here. Comes up just about to here. Yeah, we can use our vanishing point for the sky. Zoom in on it. I got it right here. Bro, they sold me on this stupid phone. They really did. They sold me on it. I didn't think I would ever like one of these things. I love this phone so fucking much. I mean, it's just as good as like the top-notch like Galaxy whatever in every aspect. But my favorite part is that like I throw it in my pocket and I don't have to like question that it's gonna stay in my pocket. I wear sweatpants a lot. And I'll go to get out of the car, and it'll just fucking go flying, and I'm, like, crying because, you know, phones cost a lot of money. But I no longer have that problem. I had a prepaid for, like, years and years and years. Like, the best prepaid you could get because I just didn't want the contract. And the girl was like, you can get any phone you want. And I was like, I mean, I don't really care that much. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a phone. And she's like, no. She's like, it would be cheaper. And she's like, our prepaid plans are expensive now. So we ran the numbers or whatever, and I was like, all right, I guess, dude, I guess I'm getting this cell phone. And not gonna lie, totally glad I did. I love that thing. Incredibly good video. Like I said, on par with all the other, like, Samsung or iPhone, if you're an iPhone person, stuff. Like, nothing different about it. And then on top of that, folds. People are always like, I feel like I would hate that little, like, divot, like, whatever. And I'm like, dude, I've never, like, literally in the first 5 minutes forgot it was there. And that's, like, not, I'm not trying to sell you on it. I don't notice it anymore. Super cool little gadget. I remember seeing the music of it, too, and being like, that'll never, like, how are you gonna fucking make that work? Like, people are gonna break that in a fucking heartbeat. Like, you'll never get that to work. And the day that I was, like, looking at it, the guy that worked there, not the girl that was selling me the phone, but the guy that worked there, he was like, no, I have one. And I was like, dead ass. And I was like, I used to sell phones, don't fucking lie to me. I was like, is it good? And he's like, dude, he's like, I will never go back to another phone. And I gotta say, that dude did not fake sell me. I will have trouble going back if I ever have to. Love that phone. Mischief. Psst, psst. Dude is out fucking cold. Having a great nap. Sorry, I'm just trying to decide what I'm gonna work on now. You got this guy. Yeah, I'm technically faking, because right here there would be a pole. And that pole would, you know, more or less have all these wires attached to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the wires. Like, the wires will go across right here, as they do in the regular picture, but that pole's not going to be there, so I can maintain Clatter being part of the image. Was kind of important to the client and myself, too. Because it was one of the first things I pointed out when I took, like, the reference pictures. I was like, I can do it from here, and it's a great angle. I was like, but I don't 100% know that you're going to love how it's going to turn out if we don't have Clatter in there. Or that people are going to wonder, you know. I don't know. They can mistake that for something else. Clatter or something. Something different. I don't know. Sorry, I'm staring on this picture because this goes down. Like it follows that, but then it goes down just slightly. So I think it looks kind of like this. That's about right. So look about right to the picture. And yeah, eventually that sidewalk ends up coming down this way. Real thin and narrow. About right here, it pops up and makes its way over here. So I think we're about on par there. Looks about right to me. It'll look better when we have like the trash can and all this stuff in there too. We are making the progress though. I always laugh at myself when I'm like zooming in on things in pictures like trash cans. Like people are gonna care that the detail of the trash can's wrong. But I care, you know? I care. Maybe that trash can means something to someone. Alright, take that to there. This guy probably stops about right here. Alright. Alright. What's this say? Cauldron Vintage on this little sign here. And it's hanging off. Goes right into this little square just about like this. See it very well, but I think that's about how it hangs in, just like that. And then they also got a door, because you know places got doors and whatnot. It looks like that goes up to about the same spot. Put that across there. And there is a brick spot right here that comes down over. Beautiful. Excellent. I know. What do they need doors for? There's a door right there. I don't know what you're talking about. It's just a door. Oh, I got a wedgie. A wedgie. Pardon-moi, I have a wedgie. And those doors look kind of like this. That. This little doorknob right here. You know, they got like a little... One of those is actually not a door. It's actually a window. I'm not going to spend too much time shading all that because all that's really dark. All of it. Every little stinking little bit of it's dark. You know what I'm saying? All right. You think maybe I went a little dramatic on this here, so we're going to take it back. All right, so we're gonna have some lines across the sidewalk because people in neighborhoods typically tend to have lines on their sidewalks. It's a thing. It's a thing that they do. You know? Step on a crack, break your mother's back. Smoke some crack, break your mother's bank account. Trust me, you don't want to go there. Yeah, the door probably will need a handle. Yeah. I don't know. I could use a handle on life. Here's a good one. It's funny. He's got jokes. This guy's classic comedian over here. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Classic comedian over here. Can't walk and I'm walking here with no, can't walk and I'm walking here. You know, you can't walking here unless you're Christopher Walken. And I am Christopher Walken. You know. Christopher Walken was walking here, and when Christopher Walken was a walking, there was no Chris to affer. I don't know. I'm not Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken's a fucking legend, though. A one-of-a-kind individual. I'm getting hungry, dude. Hungry. I'm gonna go for a little bit longer here. We put a real good dent in this. Pretty happy with where we're at, to be honest. But I'm gonna go for a little bit longer, get a little more detail in here, and then I'm gonna go get myself some food, because food's important, you know. And I've been a pretty good boy. So I might go treat myself to something. I don't know what. Had The Rock and ever seen? Yeah, no, I have. I've seen it. Been a long time. I probably couldn't remember all the lines, but I've definitely seen that at some point or another. Certainly seen that at some point in my career. There we go. We got that little brick section on the side that's not actually perspective. The Tooth Fairy story. You probably heard it, but I'm vaguely unfamiliar in this moment. I'm trying to think. But my brain is not braining today. I apologize for that. It's probably in the middle of this. The business. I'll have to watch that to refresh myself. Bottom line stickers, we're going about there. Beep, beep, boop. I like that sound. That sound tickles my fancy. Alright, so they're short stuff. They look like so. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. And we got our little arrow we gotta add, so. The cute little coffee cup is right between the T's, so right there. You waking up there, Mischief? You just gonna ignore me, dude? I'm talking to you. Hey! Mischief! I love you! Dude, just out of it today. Must be staring at his sister out there or something. Here. Making very good progress on this. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Right there. Let's get it out. Oh wait, you're in the wrong place. Sorry, oops. This is not the right castle, Mario. All right, there's that building. Very nice. Very good. Very good. Very nice. I should make this part dark. Alright. One of our windows on this one pinned right up against this guy. Yeah, right up under this too. And then pinned so out of about right here. Right there for those. Yeah, probably. And this does have a piece that comes off from up here, down like so. All right. It's like twice as thin as the Clatter thing. It feels crazy, but it's saying it goes to about right here. Doesn't feel right, man. I think I need to take a break, but I think the problem is that this is not measured correctly right here. This end piece. That might be. But for right now, we're gonna erase all those. I think, just based off of my drawing, that I don't have this far enough out. It's supposed to be more like right, probably here. Draw our line right here. So we got our border back. Let's see if This one. That feels more right. This feels a little closer to right already. Bet you. That feels a little better. I think this one needs to come over a little bit, maybe. This. Yeah, that looks good. All right, dude. All right, we have the whole building pretty well framed in now. Just have some details back in here. But the front, though, I mean, the front looking pretty good. Yeah, no, feeling pretty happy about that. That note, guys, I am getting starving. I ate breakfast and it was late, but it was a small breakfast. But this was about what I wanted to have. I got the clatter down, the whole building. We've got to work on a little bit of the siding and some details. But I do think that we'll probably spend maybe an hour on the pencil, maybe a little more next time. And then we'll start going to the ink. We should be in pretty good shape to do so. I'm hoping to be able to do this in 4 to 5 sittings, similar to this one here, to where we're not spending my entire life here, but get 2.5 hour, 3 hour sittings. If I can manage to pull one off tomorrow for 2 of it, like twice as long, then so be it. But on that note, guys, I really appreciate you hanging out. It has been an awesome stream today. We got a lot of progress done, and I'm really happy to have had everybody along for the ride. But on that note, I am going to go get myself some grub, because I am deserving of a good meal, I think, as everyone is. But on that note, y'all take care of yourselves, and I think I might try and stream again later. It depends on if I get into any alcohol or any partying of any sorts. As long as I stay sober, I'm going to keep doing this. But if I happen to partake in any festivities, I'm going to put this off to the side, as one should. But on that note, guys, I really appreciate you guys hanging out, and I will see you all before you know it again. Appreciate you hanging out, and take care till I see you.